Murata gives his opponent this look, followed by a wild exchange of blows, claiming that he can't waste any time here, so don't get in my way, resulting in this. Both landing at the same time, then an exchange of strikes, followed by Murata dodging and countering, then landing 3 more direct blows that has the challenger on his knees, and Murata landing again, wielding this face as he once again goes for another. Something that actually required the referee to jump in front to save the already unconscious fighter. A victory for the champion, but the worst match of his life. Even Ippo thought Murata was going for the kill here, and the impact of this fight resulted in a major change for the entire story. Therefore, why and how did this happen? Welcome to the Mysterious Weeb YouTube channel, a place that is documenting my personal journey of reading the entire Hajime no Ippo manga. If you enjoy that type of stuff, consider hitting the subscribe button. But let's break down what happened during this wild fight, which requires us to talk about the context, something very important. As explained in my previous video, Ippo has successfully defended his belt a few more times since the anime, and is now considered almost ready to take on the world. But before that, the fated battle with his rival since the very start is required. Wanting to actually give up his belt to challenge Murata, something that can only occur after both of them win their next title defenses, where Ippo was successful and everyone became aware that their match is officially set up, bringing us to Murata's turn to defend his belt. This time, he must not fail like the past. And if we're being realistic, this shouldn't be too hard of a match, as his opponent is only rank 6, someone not really known by many others. But let's break down this entire fight, including the unfortunate thing that happened to Murata once again. As expected, right away we see that Ippo has absolute faith that Murata will win, who's actually sitting alongside Mashiba for this match, making this very interesting as well. But as the fight begins, the challenger is the one to charge ahead first and actually putting a lot of pressure on the champion, successfully blocking most of the blows but is 100% on the defensive. However, his opponent is going for a lot of scummy attacks. This includes an elbow and a headbutt as well, something that should be considered fouls but are not being seen by the referee, resulting in this stuff to continue that has Murata in danger right away in round 1. Incredibly close from taking a full-on power punch, however he was able to land first. A crazy counter that dropped the opponent right away face first on the ground. The count is now beginning. Absolutely wild stuff. Something so crazy that Ippo claims that he'll get killed in an instant going up against that. And Mashiba noting, up against a countermaster like Murata, the same move will not work twice, highlighting how much he's evolved. But regardless, the opponent was able to rise with a count of 7. The match continues. This time Murata is dominating with no trouble, focusing on outboxing and actually disappearing from the opponent's view, dodging all of his attacks, landing more counters and strikes, resulting in everyone to begin to realize why Murata and his team chose this opponent for his title defense. A fighting style that is similar to the likes of Ippo. They are already preparing for their match, with this also being a good time to see what works well and doesn't against Murata, all things considered. But as we know, Ippo is built different and not a dirty fighter like this guy. However, all of that brings us to the conclusion of round 1. Murata is mostly fine, while the opponent now looks like this. He is on his way to getting the fight he's wanted for so long. We then see that for the next 2 rounds, the same thing occurs. Murata's absolute domination, a real champion. The speed of his punches are simply too much. Everyone watching is noticing that he's on a different league altogether. The challenger can't lay a finger on him, and that the fight's pretty much already over, and Ippo being stunned by what he's watching, claiming that he's so strong, if that were me down there, the same thing will be happening to me. No matter how and in what circumstance, Ippo always needs to glaze Murata, who successfully lands another counter that drops the challenger once again, something that would have allowed him to win the fight. However, the bell for the 4th round barely saved him. Then while Murata and his father is in their corner, they notice something. A certain goon watching in the crowd. Yes, this guy is back once again. But the one that has Murata's attention is the guy sitting next to him, locking eyes, which results in Murata going a bit schizo. This is what he says. "This is my first time seeing this man, but there's something that's very captivating about those eyes of his. They somehow seem vaguely familiar to me. But when? Where have I seen them? I can't shake this feeling that it's something important. I have to try and remember," which pretty much destroys his concentration going into the next round, allowing the challenger to land a direct blow right away and almost pretty much win the fight right there against Murata, a complete turnover in a few blows. While the challenger doesn't have the speed to keep up with Murata, the power behind his strikes is incredible, and against someone who's concentrating on a random in the crowd, they have been insanely effective and have put the fight back in an either way category just like that. And regardless, Murata is still focusing on this mysterious man, trying to remember who he is, which may connect to his childhood, but the fight is back on with the goofy challenger landing a headbutt for whatever reason, doing major damage to Murata. Then during the next exchange, Murata misses his counter and is seemingly getting destroyed, requiring the referee to stop the match due to the insane bleeding and cut on Murata's head that resulted in the doctor to find out that the cut is very deep, wanting to call off the match. However, the champion refuses, therefore it resumes. This time Murata is incredibly serious, but is still not completely locked in, particularly due to the damage he's received so far, bringing us to his rage unlike anything we've ever seen before. The crazy exchange of blows, Murata eventually dodging a strike and then doing this to his opponent. True rage and violence was demonstrated in the climax of this fight, and had such an impact that Murata doesn't want to give any interviews and straight away left after all of that, where we learn that they now have to call off the match against Ippo. This is due to both of Murata's hands being broken after that crazy exchange at the end, where we see some inner monologue from his father. Bashing in your opponent's hard skull like that, without any aim in mind, it's only natural it'd break. But for him to have kept hitting him even though it was broken, goes to show how he feels about his match against Ippo. Therefore, it is only delayed for now, waiting for him to recover. Unfortunate, but kinda deserved due to this wild schizo performance, which did result in a unique interaction between the mysterious guy Murata was distracted by, who wants to fight Murata and pretty much claims that he can't escape from his destiny. A pretty strange scene, all things considered, but we're gonna have the rise of this guy likely in the future. For now, Murata is quite the L and has ruined a key aspect in the match against Ippo once again. And with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to check out this one that went over everything that occurred after the anime and the events before what I broke down in today's video. And of course, shout out to the members, these absolute mad lads. That's it guys, peace.